Destination Chicago. Today I'm going to share tips with you on traveling to Chicago. This is Graciously Gloria. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about places to stay. I would recommend the downtown area. We stayed at the Residence Inn in the Chicago downtown loop area. It's a very walkable location to get to different shops and restaurants. My sister has stayed before at the Palmer House by Hilton. Now that one's interesting. It's actually a historic home that they've now made into a larger hotel, even has some different amenities like a spa. I did go get a facial there and it was lovely. And they have also these iconic brownies there. So you want to give that a try. You can just even pop by there just to get a brownie if you're not staying there. So I'd recommend that place as well. So like I said, Chicago downtown area is a great location to stay for the walkability. Let's move on to talk about some food of Chicago. So you have some famous different things, the deep dish pizza, the beef sandwich, the Chicago hot dog. So where can you find those? And let's discuss that and some different breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. So first off, let's talk about that deep dish pizza. Lou Malnati's is a famous deep dish pizza location. They have several locations. We went to the downtown loop area location. You do want to make a reservation if possible because it's very popular and there could be a wait otherwise. I noticed they also had a to-go section where you could take some like I think they were frozen pizzas to take home and bake. And I would say the deep dish pizza for me was very carb forward because it is that thicker crust, but my husband loved his. And you can get your own individual pizza, so you can pick your own toppings. And you do want to give that a try when you're there because it's so iconic. I would say another option is Giordano's, and they have several locations for that deep dish pizza as well. Let's talk about snacks. So another option is the Garrett's popcorn. So they have a sweet and savory option called the Garrett's mix. That one has the cheddar popcorn with the caramel. So yummy, sweet and savory. It's a little messy to eat, but it's fun to try while you're there. They also have some other, you could just get cheddar, just get caramel. And it's a great option to bring home a gift for souvenirs for somebody. And I'd recommend the Garrett's. We had walked past the Nutella Cafe. So, you know, the Nutella spread with the chocolate hazelnut. We didn't have a chance to stop in there, but I think that would make a fun snack too. And some lunch and dinner options. So, if you want to give a try for that Chicago hot dog and that beef sandwich, I'd recommend Portillo's. They do have several locations. We went to the downtown loop location and we tried that beef sandwich, delicious. My husband's tried to recreate that at home, and so that's a fun thing to do. And we tried that famous Chicago dog as well there. We had another lunch at Smith and Walensky. Now this one is on the riverfront. So you're going to have a nice view. They're known for their steak. I tried the steak bites there. It came with the steak with portobello mushrooms. Tasty. I'd recommend that. I can't remember now if we had a reservation or not, but at lunch it shouldn't be as crowded. And again, it does have that nice view. And then some things for breakfast. So for breakfast, we went to the Wild Berry Pancake and Cafe. Now that one, the location we went to was in that downtown loop area. And that one only does walk-ins. So we did wait about a half hour to get in, but I would say it was worth it. They have lots of different pancakes, waffles, omelets, different egg dish options there, and really filling. So good spot. We also made a reservation at a place called The Whale. Now that one was a little outside the area. We took an Uber to get there, but they did have a delicious, fun cocktail that I had at brunch time and lobster and waffles. Again, that whole sweet and savory thing happening there. Enjoyed that and would recommend The Whale. We also had a brunch at the Roanoke. So that one has additionally a lunch and dinner option. So had open all day long there and enjoyed our meal there too. What about some different dinner options? So for dinner, we went to the Golden Girl. This is a restaurant by Stephanie Izard. You might have seen her on different cooking competitions, and that's where we had heard of her. So we thought, let's give that a try. I would say you want to get a reservation to go there. And they're kind of known for their small plate dishes. So, and they even said that to us when we got there, that they are smaller portions. So you want to get several plates to try and share with each other. And we did enjoy the different combinations there. They had something with like this chili oil that was really good on it, and I don't really care for too much spicy, but I liked the flavor of this, and so the goat and girl would be a good dinner option. Restoration Hardware has cafes. I didn't know if you might be aware of that, but I like to go to those because Restoration Hardware, I just love the aesthetics of it and those beautiful chandeliers and the nice furniture. And so when you go to the cafe, it gives you an opportunity to also walk around the store, which is fun to do, browsing there. I went to the Restoration Hardware, the cafe in there, and the one in Florida, and enjoyed the ambiance there. So I wanted to give that a try in Chicago, like to seek those out. So this one they call the Three Art Cafe. And it's lovely with the chandeliers and like I said, just the ambiance is wonderful. I like to get a shrimp dish there. So they have different shrimp dishes. I would say the grilled shrimp was tasty. And they also had a lovely prosciutto appetizer and delicious bellinis. So that's a fun one to go to and great for a photo op with the decor there. A place we didn't make it to, but I might suggest is the London House for Cocktails because I read that that has a great view and a fun place to enjoy a cocktail. Let's talk about things to do in Chicago. So it's a city, so lots of things happening. And I would say it is a very walkable city. I found it to be clean and well maintained where we were walking. So I would say you don't even need to probably get a car rental. We didn't. What we did is mainly walked. I would say the majority of places we went to, we just walked to. A few places we did take an Uber, for example, to go to that whale that cafe and also the one at the Restoration Hardware we took an Uber to. But for the most part, we were able to walk to a lot of activities and food locations. So, what did we do for activities and what would I recommend? They have a lovely art museum. Now, one thing when you're looking at things like museums, you want to keep in mind that most of them have days where they're closed. This one in particular, when we went there, closed on Tuesdays. So just be aware of that when you're planning out your schedule of possible closed days. And they have different discounts. Children are free. They had a senior discount, a student discount as far as pricing goes. So you can look at that and you can get the tickets ahead of time or walk up when you're there. Have this lovely different things like different impressionist artwork that I enjoyed, and I'll pop in some different photos of our visit there. I also love the Garfield Park Observatory. Now, this is a kind of a find because I found that people don't necessarily find this location. It's a little bit, we did take an Uber to get there, but the conservatory is lovely with flowers and tropical plants, and it actually is free. So I will pop in a link to make a reservation. You do need a reservation for that. It's a timed slot, but it doesn't cost you anything once you get in. So it is free. So that's a low cost. There's lots of things in Chicago I'd say that you can do at a low cost, different activities. That's one of them. Another free option is the zoo. So they have the zoo at the Lincoln Park, and so different animals to see. And then they also have a conservatory there. So again, that conservatory is lovely with flowers and plants, and I'm just love to see a garden. So that was really enjoyable. That one again, you do need to book a time, just like the other one, the Garfield one. So for this Lincoln Conservatory, I will put the link in there for too. So it's free, but you do want also to book a time as well to get in. So go on, do that ahead of time. The river walk is great. It's a walking path along that river bank, and it gives you wonderful views of the city, the unique and interesting architecture of all the different buildings there, and it's filled with lots of different restaurants. So I'd recommend checking out that Riverwalk area. speaking of the different architecture, I would say this was one of my top things we did there was the architectural cruise. I will pop in the link for the one we did through Get Your Guide, and it was great. So that one, but I'd recommend when you do it is to book it around sunset time. We went at about 5:45, so we got to see when it was light out, and then as things got dark and all the lights in the buildings turned on, and we got to see a lovely sunset over the water as well. So it was really stunning. I've had some different pictures there for you to check out. But what I found was interesting, not only just the view, but hearing some of the different history of the city and them explaining some different unique qualities to the buildings, like the different high rises and what they do to let the wind go through at a certain really high level so it doesn't sway and all that. And so the architectural details and the ingenuity there was, I thought, interesting to learn about too. So I'd recommend that highly, the architectural boat tour cruise. Another thing to check out is Millennium Park. So within Millennium Park, there is the Grant Park, and that one had the Buckingham Fountain. Really, again, picturesque, a great spot for pictures. I'll pop a picture in here of the pictures I got there. And within that Millennium Park, it's large. So it's, again, very walkable to get there if you're staying in that downtown area. And then you'll see that famous bean, which is reflective, and so you can get your picture and it reflects the background of that city backdrop. So that's fun and iconic thing of Chicago. So I'd recommend that too. And then you can also walk what's called the Magnificent Mile. Now that one has shopping, dining. If you like Starbucks, they have a unique Starbucks there called the Starbucks Reserve. So that one is kind of like an upscale Starbucks and has different options that they don't have at their regular Starbucks. So that was fun to go to. Some other options in Chicago that we didn't get a chance to do because we were there for a long weekend, but I heard from others that they had recommended is the Skydeck Willis Tower. That one you're going to go up in it and it's going to give you a view of the city, like a panoramic view. You have to be okay with heights because you're going to be looking out at a really high height there, but you're going to be inside the tower area. Another is Wrigley Field, so that you can check that out for a baseball game. My husband went in a past trip to Chicago and went to a game there and said it was fun. It's, an iconic baseball stadium. I did find out for there, if the games aren't playing, they actually do tours of the field as well as a separate thing. So if you check out that website for Wrigley Field, you can look at there and it will show you an option to tour as well. They do have an aquarium there. That could be a fun thing to do. They have a lakefront trail. So that one goes along Lake Michigan. When we were there, it was rather windy. So we kind of walked towards that area, but then didn't end up really walking the trail because of the wind. But that could be fun depending on the weather while you're there. And did you know also they have a beach area? That one's called North Avenue Beach. Again, that's on Lake Michigan. So if it's a sunny day while you're there, then I would say check out the beach too. I hope you got some great tips today on visiting Chicago, and I would recommend this location for a visit. And I'm going to do a whole series on my destination trips here. I'm going to call it Destination Travel Series. I'm going to share with you lots of different places that I've traveled to and tips that I learned while going there. And hope you subscribe for more tips. And I appreciate your time today. This is Graciously Gloria, and happy traveling to you.